Hello and welcome to Hibs TV and to Easter Road for today's cinch Premiership game against Livingston. The Hibs come into this one off the back of a disappointing result in Dingwall, but now with games coming thick and fast, the focus has swiftly turned on to Livingston and trying to secure that top 6 position. We're bringing you all the exclusive build-up here on Hibs TV in the 3 p.m. kickoff. I'm delighted to be joined today by Joelle Murray. Joelle, how are you?
I'm good, thanks Adam. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Before we start talking about today's game, I just wanted to touch upon the women's team as well, because they secured a top 6 finish, and the first split fixture is obviously tomorrow against Partick Thistle.
Yeah, I think ultimately securing the top 6 was our primary focus and aim, and now we have 10 days to really go on and push as far up the league as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously this year the table's kind of very tight, especially between Hibs, Hearts and Partick Thistle. Is kind of 4th, 5th spot the one that you're aiming for?
Yeah, absolutely. 4th is our aim. We of course want to better our position from last season, and 4th will certainly do that. So 4th is certainly the aim going into these next 10 games, picking up as many points as we possibly can, but ultimately focusing on the next game, which of course, as you mentioned, is Partick Thistle tomorrow.
Absolutely. And over the last year, 18 months, I think there's been more and more interest in Hibs Women, which has been really, really positive. It shows there's a real appetite in the local community for women's football and for Hibs Women, and there's an event coming up soon, isn't there?
There is, yes, here at Easter Road, actually, an evening with cup winners. So we'll have current cup winners, we'll have past cup winners in attendance. So yeah, it'll be a fantastic evening, I'd like to think, and it's on the back of last season's Hibs 25 event, which was equally as successful.
Fantastic. Well, I'm sure that's something that everyone's looking forward to. In terms of today's game, then we mentioned at the top of the show, obviously we come into this one off the back of the disappointing end to the Ross County game on Wednesday. We'll just take a quick look back at that one right now. Obviously, Joelle, the first half, we were speaking about it off camera, it wasn't the prettiest of halves, or the best of halves for Hibs, and then obviously Ross County scored that goal right at the end of the first period.
Yeah, it wasn't a great first half for us. I think decision making for that first goal, probably a lack of communication and clarity from Marsh and the defenders in there. But yeah, I think the first half was certainly disappointing from the standards that we kind of set and know that we're capable of.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there from a defensive point of view. It was a fairly quick transition, but you can see there, like David Marshall coming out, Jordan Abita and Rocky Bashiri not looking quite know where they're meant to be in that position, or being almost sucked into the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for me, I've been in those situations many a time whereby you want the big shout from your goalkeeper, or if you go for it, you commit 100%, and certainly it didn't look like any of the players done so on that occasion.
Absolutely. We're just seeing Mizani's goal just here. It was a fantastic ball through, wasn't it, from Ellie Yuan? And I mean, Mizani's been in great form of late, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. He's been absolutely clinical. He's been a fantastic signing for the club, and you can see the fantastic link up there from Ellie and himself, and he knows instinctively where the goal is, and 9 times out of 10 he puts it in the back of the net.
Absolutely. And we haven't mentioned Adam Lafondra yet, but we're about to, obviously, as his goal will appear very soon. He changed the second half, didn't he, leading the line in that forward role?
He did, yes. He gives a different dynamic. He's a very intelligent player. He picks up pockets of space in front of the defence. He goes in behind, so as a defender he asks that question, and you can see there he's took that ball, a fantastic ball, may I add, from Joe, very, very well.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were talking earlier around not just his finishing ability, tried to chip the keeper earlier on. It shows the confidence that he has, but also the space that he then provided for Emiliano, for Mizani and for Ellie Yuan.
Yeah, I think when he drops into those pockets, if the defenders come and commit and press him, it leaves that space, like you said, Adam, in behind for the wide players or a deep lying kind of number 10. And if the defenders don't come in, you give the ball to his feet and he'll turn and drive and commit. So he's a very flexible, versatile, intelligent striker.
Absolutely. And we've just seen obviously Ross County's late equaliser there. It was a real sucker punch. Before we go into the decision for the throw-in, I just wanted to touch upon the defending from that moment. Whether it's our throw-in or not, the players should have been switched on in that situation.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you can never rely on a refereeing decision. You can never rely on anything like that. And for me, regardless of the decision, whether it's our throw-in or theirs, you get set up early, you get in shape, you get behind the ball, and unfortunately we didn't do that, and we concede very, very late on.
Yeah, Jan Dander obviously looks to, it's almost like he scuffed his shot and it's trickled past Marshall, Paul Hanlon, Will Fish, almost like if he'd have hit it clean, it probably would have been easier for one of those three to get onto it.
I know, and that's probably typical of how things have maybe went the last few weeks for us, maybe not getting the run of the green, not getting the decisions that we ultimately should be getting. And yeah, I think if he hits that cleanly, Marsh saves it or the defenders get a block.
Yeah, let's talk about that throw in then, because obviously in that moment when David Marshall takes the goal kick, we're over the 7 minutes added time. Obviously that is put up as a minimum. It's worth mentioning as well. But the linesman's obviously right next to it, the referee's looking straight at it, and I think now even every Hibs fan and arguably Ross County fans will be looking at that thinking, I'm not sure how he's given that to Ross County. Yeah,
and it's one of those ones. It's been the difference between 1 or 3 points for us, and hopefully it won't come back to haunt us come kind of top or bottom 6. But like I said, regardless of those types of decisions, it's an uncontrollable, Adam. We can only control what we control, and in those moments what we can control is getting back in, getting set, getting behind the ball, and like I said, we just didn't do that. We got caught up in the was it or wasn't it debate, and unfortunately it allowed Ross County to get on the front foot.
Yeah, absolutely, and obviously now that makes the table extremely tight, doesn't it, in terms of obviously Dundee winning their game in hand and leapfrogging us up into 6th. There's 4 games remaining now, obviously, until the split. 1 point obviously separating us and the top 6. It's incredibly tight.
It's so tight. It's really, really tight. And again, like I spoke about, we can only control the controllables. We can have a look and see what's happening elsewhere, but at the end of the day, if we take care of our business starting from today, I'd like to think and hope that we can certainly secure that top 6 place.
Yeah, with that in mind, how important is today's game?
Massive. It's absolutely massive. I think it's a home game. We want to make Easter Road a fortress. I think obviously Livingston will be coming here with their own kind of troubles, their own kind of poor performances and results. So they'll be coming here looking for a result, looking to get them out of that kind of relegation scrap. So we need to approach the game very positively, get on the front foot. We can't afford a half like the one that we saw in midweek, and I think if we do that, get ahead in a game, it gives players momentum, and it really, really kind of gives you that springboard and platform to get the points that we need. Absolutely.
Well, just look at the round of fixtures then for this weekend. Obviously we play today, Dundee have Rangers tomorrow. Again, a win today can get us back into that top 6, and hopefully we'll put a little bit of pressure on Dundee, although they'll probably go into that one as a free hit almost.
Yeah, I think any team kind of going to Ibrox kind of can see it as a free hit, like you said, and we control the game today. We get the points today, and ultimately Dundee going into that game tomorrow, they're already back in 7th spot, so it adds a little bit more pressure to that game, but I'd like to think and hope that Rangers have the quality to overcome them tomorrow. But again, like I said, we can only control what we can control, and we get the 3 points today, and that's our kind of task in hand.
Yeah, and the most optimistic Hibs supporters like yourself, like me, will be looking at probably that Kilmarnock-St Mirren game as well, eyeing those European spots.
Yeah, of course. It's just so very, very tight. The league's been so competitive this season. Teams have taken points from everybody. So yeah, I think we'll be looking elsewhere, not just at Ibrox tomorrow, but certainly elsewhere across the league, across the fixtures, because 1 point or 3 points can certainly change the picture massively.
Yeah, they absolutely can. And the fixtures, I believe, between us and Dundee are relatively similar as well, going into the kind of final 4 games before the split. Just getting that win today into the international break could really kick us on then for that final 3 games to just try and get that top 6 spot.
Yeah, it's massively important. I think, given, like you said, we're going into the international break, so we get the 3 points today. It gives us that positivity. It gives us that springboard and momentum coming back from the international break. So I think it's certainly, absolutely, in my opinion, crucial to get the win today.
Yeah, I mean, and looking at our kind of pre-split fixtures, obviously the Livingston game today, then we have the difficult task, obviously, of going to Ibrox, St Johnstone here at Easter Road, and then Motherwell away as well. And it's worth mentioning Motherwell because they've gone very much under the radar, just 3 points behind us, 4 points behind Dundee, and they'll be thinking to themselves, well, if these two slip up, we might have a chance as well.
Yeah, and I think Stuart Kettlewell has done a fantastic job there. They obviously were unlucky against Celtic. They then had a fantastic win against Rangers, so they'll be kind of playing with a lot of confidence, and like you said, all eyes are on us and Dundee and who can potentially kind of sneak into the top 6, and I think Motherwell will be quite happy about that because they're quietly doing their business.
Absolutely, and that is the aim. I know we kind of touched upon European earlier, but it is just firstly getting to that top 6, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think getting to the top 6 is the primary aim and objective, and then seeing what we can do from there on in.
Absolutely. Well, just before we continue to talk about today's game, it's worth mentioning something fantastic that David Gray is doing for the Hibernian Community Foundation and for children with autism. He's going to travel, or cycle I should say, from Hampden to Easter Road to raise money to allow children with autism to play football in the local community. Let's hear why he's doing it.
Hi everyone, it's David Gray here. Today I'm reaching out to share something personal and very important to me, and I believe to all of us. During my career at Hibernian, we've celebrated victories and faced tough challenges together. This time I'm taking on a different kind of challenge for a cause that's very close to my heart. In May, I'll be cycling from Hampden Park to Easter Road to change the lives of children with autism aged 8 and upwards in our community. These incredible kids dream of playing football, being part of a team and sharing the joy of the game. But the playing field isn't always level, and often clubs fall short, failing to provide an environment for all children to flourish. For young people with autism, stepping onto a football pitch can feel like entering a world that's not designed for them. The sensory overload, from the blast of the whistle to the unpredictable flurry of movement, can be very overwhelming. That's why I've joined forces with Team United and the Hibernian Community Foundation to transform how young people with autism experience the game. Through our programmes, these young people will discover much more than just how to pass a ball. They'll find confidence, friendship and a sense of belonging on and off the pitch. This is a chance for a very limited number of fans to be part of something extraordinary. So rally your friends, form your team and let's embark on a 50-mile journey together. Every child who hopes to stand where I stand today deserves a chance to pursue their dreams. With your help, we can turn those dreams into reality. So please, sign up, take part, donate, and let's change lives.
Simplexity Travel is made up of some of London's leading bespoke travel managers. Simplexity specialise in luxury travel services for corporate and private clients, groups and individuals who lead busy lives. Simplexity will simplify challenging schedules and complex trip itineraries, ensuring our clients always travel with complete peace of mind and in perfect luxury. Simplexity Travel, making luxury travel simple.
Hello and welcome back to Hibs TV as we continue to build up to today's game against Livingston. Still joined by Joelle Murray. Joelle, obviously we've played Livingston twice already this season. We have to touch on that first game. Obviously here in August, Lee Johnson was the manager's final game in charge of the club, and it was a really disappointing afternoon. It
was indeed a very disappointing afternoon. I think Livingston have had a season to forget, but I think out of the 3 wins they've had all season, certainly the 3-2 here at Easter Road that day was one of them. And the game itself, I think we were on top, we were the better team, but decision making and kind of lack of focus allowed Livingston back into the game. So things like that we need to really focus on and make sure don't happen again today.
Yeah, absolutely. You could see in that game and from one of their other wins, obviously a 1-0 win against St Mirren, I think recently that was, although that was at home obviously, they are warning signs that if you don't turn up on the day, they will punish you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think obviously they're sitting towards the bottom of the league at the moment, but they do have quality within their squad, and I think the result against St Mirren, who have had a very good season, shows that quality that they have both in defence and attack.
Yeah, absolutely. And even looking to the win that we had at the Tony Macaroni Arena, obviously 1-0, Martin Boyle scored quite a nice goal within the first half. Still wasn't an easy task.
It wasn't an easy task. I don't think the weather helped that day.
Yeah.
I remember watching it and it was awful. But yeah, again, it wasn't an easy task. I think we dominated the ball in that game, but I think in games where you're only 1 goal up or something like that, things can change in a heartbeat. So today, I'd like to think and hope that we can get goals up and really be comfortable. And I think when you're playing in games like that, Adam, you start to enjoy your football more, and you really gain confidence from it.
Yeah, how important then today is quite a quick start, just to dampen any kind of spirit that Livingston have, because obviously everyone knows David Martindale's teams. They know they're resolute, they're physical, they're really well organised. Just an early goal almost unsettle them a little bit.
Absolutely, I think it's massive to get ahead in any game. I think getting on the front foot as quickly as possible gives you that momentum, and it also kind of puts obviously the opposition on the back foot, but it kind of reduces and dilutes their confidence. So I think it's massively important, and I think we're due a game like that, Adam. I think we're due a game where we get ahead early and we really kind of put the foot on the throttle and get goals up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose sticking obviously with Livingston, they might come into today with a little bit of hope, because it's worth mentioning, isn't it, that they performed really well last weekend against Celtic, albeit they fell to a 4-2 defeat, but I think they came from 2 goals from 2 goals down to draw it to 2-2 at Celtic Park and gave themselves a real chance.
Yeah, they ran Celtic near enough all the way last week, so I think we can't kind of discredit Livingston at all, and I think what it shows is they've got that perseverance. When they do go goals behind, they don't give up, and I think that'll be a quality that they'll show today, but hopefully one that we can try and nullify.
Yeah, absolutely, and the crowd will have a huge impact again today. Season tickets are on sale for next season, so if you want to renew, make sure you get yours right now. We're just going to hear from a couple of supporters on what their eras were and why they want to renew.
Now, what was my favourite Hibs era? Smith, Johnson, Riley, Turnbull and Ormond, the famous five.
The first British team to play in Europe, the Pioneers, that was my era.
The 60s, Joe Baker. The 70s, Turnbull Tornadoes. Patrick Gordon Stanton, that was my era.
Hands off Hibs, the team that wouldn't die. Right where then Harper, Sozzy, Latapi, that was my era.
Teenage Kicks, Deeks, O'Connor.
Bruni, Rob Johns, 2007 League Cup winners. That was my era.
21st of May 2016, then promotion back to the Premiership. Super John McGinn, Sir David Gray, Big Daz. That was my era.
Boyle's return, the Luzerne game, sunshine only. This is my era.
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 When it comes to things that are exclusive to Scotland, we all have a thing or two to say.
They're amazing, they blew me away.
Superb.
Excellent customer service from start to finish.
First class service every time.
10 out of 10.
A fantastic sales exec.
Nothing was too much trouble.
Outstanding.
I wouldn't go anywhere else now.
Just some of the things that have been said about us. Macklin Motors, exclusive to Scotland.
I'm getting some work done. Enough of that. I am totally winning! Oh, and relaxing.
Here's your order.
With a coffee, thank you. I love this film. I'm doing all of this on my way to Mum's. Because it's all possible on an LNER train.
Next stop, London.
And I'm almost there.
Hello and welcome back to Hibs TV as we continue to build up to today's game against Livingston, looking to respond from the disappointment on Wednesday night. Now it's time to hear from our head coach Nick Montgomery and Nectar Triantis ahead of this one.
Nectar, you've been here at Hibs now for nearly 2 months. How have you found that? It seems like you've settled really well.
Yeah, I've enjoyed my time every minute, and I think now I'm starting to grow relationships within the club and friends on and off the pitch, so no, it's been good.
We speak today ahead of the Livingston game on the back of a disappointing time up on Wednesday at Ross County. How has the reaction been among the team since the game on Wednesday night?
Yeah, I think you don't have much time to dwell on results, and I think everyone knows that we should have got more of a result in that game, but that's sometimes how things works in football, so you just have to carry on and look forward to the game on the weekend.
You're in midfield for that game and against Rangers in a sort of number 6 role in the midfield three. How have you found that playing in there?
Yeah, it's been good. I've enjoyed it. I feel comfortable in there, and that comes from the gaffer putting trust and belief in me to play there. So full credit to him.
Looking ahead to Livingston, a win would be huge for our aims this season.
Yeah, I understand. I think every game at this stage of the season is crucial. So you can never overlook an opponent or a game or fixture. So every game is just as important as the next.
What's the gaffer's message been ahead of this one?
Yeah, just as I said, it's a big fixture, a big result that we need to get all 3 points at home.
Thank you, Nectar.
Cheers.
Nick, obviously there was frustration on Wednesday evening, but putting that to one side, we're 5 unbeaten in the league and go into Saturday in good momentum.
Yeah, I think we're the only team to go the last 5 games in the league unbeaten, so that's something that we take a lot of belief from and confidence and also that momentum. So yeah, as much as it was frustrating the other night, decision maybe didn't go our way, we have to be better, and looking back on the game and realising no matter what happens, we have to be ready and we have to be prepared, and we could have avoided conceding after injury time from an incident that we can't really control. What we're controlling in that moment is defending better and switching on and making sure that didn't happen. So look, it's it was a disappointing end to what was a real good second half performance. A lot of positives. I thought Adam Lafondra coming on was fantastic, and I know that's what Alfie can give. It's just been unfortunate he's had a lot of time on the sideline since I came to the club, and I thought Chrissy Cadden again coming on, he gave us real energy, and I think he's been a breath of fresh air since he got back from his injury. So yeah, the 2 goals, Mizani scoring again, and I thought we had a couple of other chances that we could have put away, but now we go into the game tomorrow and we take that confidence and momentum, knowing that we've got a good opportunity to get points going into this international break.
Yeah, obviously Livingston are struggling this season, sat at the bottom of the table at the moment. What do you expect from them?
I expect to fight. We expect them to come and compete, and I expect them to come with a game plan. And I've got a lot of respect for David Martindale. He's a good guy. One of the first guys I spoke to actually when I came up to Scotland watching a reserve game. We play a few reserve games against them as well. So yeah, I expect nothing more than a physical battle and a team that's going to come and compete. So yeah, as always, we'll give them full respect, but we also concentrate on the way that we're going to play, and hopefully we'll have a good crowd at Easter Road and the fans behind us going into this international break.
Yeah, do you want to see a fast start from your players to help generate that atmosphere inside Easter Road?
Yeah, you always want to see the team start fast and on the front foot, but that starting fast and controlling the game are 2 different things. So I think we have to we have to play our way, and we have to start the game well as always. But as we know, we need to grow into the game as well and find our rhythm a little bit quicker than we have done. I think a couple of games we've probably not started the first half as well as we'd wanted. But I think it's a good opportunity for us to take the momentum into this game, and again at home at Easter Road in front of our fans, who've been fantastic, and really go into the break on a positive.
In terms of team news, how are we looking for Saturday?
Yeah, so Lewis Miller, a little bit of a tight muscle, probably going to be a doubt for tomorrow. Took him off with no risk. And Jaire's back from his sickness. Jaire had a few days off last week sick, and Nathan comes back in after his suspension. So other than that, I don't think anything else has changed from Wednesday night. But yeah, we're going to the game healthy, and it's nice to have a couple of boys back into the squad.
100%. Good luck this weekend.
Cheers, thank you.
Well, Joelle, we just heard from Nick Montgomery just then, and I'll just touch upon the team news element of what he was saying, really. Obviously, it's good to have Nathan Mariah Welsh back today. He obviously missed the last game because of his suspension. 2 games that he gets for that red card against Rangers, but one is in the league and one's in the Scottish Cup, just to make it nice and simple for everyone. So it's good to have him back, and Jair Tavares as well has recovered from his illness.
Yeah, it's great to have Nathan back. I think he's so dynamic in the middle of the pitch. He is fantastic from a defensive perspective, but also in attack. He's very, very good. And obviously having Jair back in, he's very creative and lively.
Yeah, absolutely. And one person I wanted to touch upon that we haven't actually discussed in the show yet is Chris Cadden. Obviously, Lewis Miller will miss today's game through his muscle injury. Cads came in and did pretty well against Rangers, then had to back that up with around 70 minutes, I would probably say, against Ross County, and was arguably one of the best players on the pitch in that game.
Yeah, he was, and all credit to Cads, because the Rangers game, obviously we went down players, so he's playing probably more minutes than he should have. And a very much an underload. So I think he's been a fantastic addition to the squad, almost like a new signing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose for him it's just having to be a little bit careful that he doesn't go over the top in terms of his match minutes and his load, to ensure that injury doesn't get aggravated again.
Yeah, and I think that's absolutely crucial. I think the loading element is massive in the game these days, especially for a player like Cads who's been out for so long. You don't want to kind of do too much too soon, and hopefully the minutes that he's been playing progresses well, and we get that 90 minutes out of him fairly soon.
Absolutely, and Nick Montgomery touched upon today's game in terms of wanting that control, but also wanting the players to show that control and have a faster start than what they've had in previous weeks, especially obviously that Ross County game. How important is that in today's match?
It's massive. I think controlling momentum in any game is huge, and if we can grasp that from the first whistle, I think it'll really lead into such a positive performance today.
Absolutely. And just finally then, Joelle, where do you think today's game could be won or lost by Hibs?
I think for me, we've got the pace, we've got the creativity. I think if we've got that and combine the two today, I think Livingston will really, really struggle in their defensive third.
Absolutely. Well, Joelle, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you to everyone who's watched at home. Let's hope the Hibs can take all 3 points today and push us closer to that top 6 places.